Thank you so much for being here. Find your seat that it's comfortable and stable. And take a moment just to settle. Don't change your breath. Just slowly from the attention that it's usually aimed at the things happening outside, bring it in gradually into your own body. And see if you can let your head rest right above the pelvis and the shoulders right above the hips. And today, for the ones who, like me, have this belt around your ribs, see if you can slowly start breathing into that strap. And if you need to, use your hands to prop yourself up a little, right? By pushing your pillow or lengthening the sides and then rolling the shoulders back, you can do that as well. And then rest your hands. Try to evenly drop your legs, closing the eyes. Take these few initial strokes of breath into the side body. And notice if it feels tight. Soften the sides of the neck, the skull. You can wiggle your jaws. And it's important to also try and relax the skin around your ears, letting the mouth be spacious, and even visualizing your cranial bones being spacious, and letting the tissues in your brain also soften. Then bring the awareness back to the breath and the ribs. Like a cloud, the breath rises. Listen to the sound of your own breath. Let the breath help you elevate the top part of your body. Feel the buoyancy in the underside of your chest. And it's also an opportunity to notice if one lung expands faster than the other, or if one side feels wider than the opposite side. Just stay with your attention connected to the sensations of the breath into that space. One of the classic Buddhist teachings on hope and fear concerns what are known as the 8 worldly dharmas. These are 4 pairs of opposites, 4 things that we like and we become attached to, and 4 things that we don't like and try to avoid. The basic message is that when we are caught up in the 8 worldly dharmas, we suffer. First, we like pleasure. We are attached to it. Conversely, we don't like pain. Second, we like and are attached to praise, and we try to avoid criticism and blame. Third, we like and are attached to fame, and we dislike and try to avoid disgrace. Finally, we are attached to gain, to getting what we want, but we don't like losing what we have. According to this very simple teaching, becoming immersed in these four pairs of opposites, pleasure and pain, praise and blame, fame and disgrace, and gain and loss, is what keeps us stuck in the pain of samsara, we call it. It's the habit that we repeat. We might feel that somehow we should try to eradicate these feelings of pleasure and pain, gain and loss, praise and blame, fame and disgrace. A more practical approach is to get to know them intimately, see how they hook us, see how they color our perception of reality, see how they aren't all that solid. Then the eight worldly dharmas become the means for growing wiser, as well as kinder and more content. Pleasure and pain, praise and blame, fame and disgrace, and gain and loss. As we bring the palms together today into the heart, we have an opportunity to notice, to observe these qualities as we practice in our mats, on our mats. And as we get to know those emotions that arise, those pairs of opposites, perhaps achieving the posture I want to feel better and more important, maybe feel shame because I cannot accomplish something. And if we can sit, pause, and observe those things, then we can become a little wiser about the way those emotions hook us. And with that, the main goal that we practice always is the practice of letting go. Maybe you choose one of those emotions, one of those qualities today to just practice letting them go, releasing them. We open with the sound one time, inhaling deeply through the nose. A big exhale. Then breathing in again. Oh. Then we connect head, hands, and heart together at the center, releasing the palms when you're ready. Lifting the head and opening the eyes. Welcome again, everyone. If you had the belt around your ribs, you can take it out now, but it will give you an opportunity to keep feeling that sensation in your body where you were breathing. We are going to use it for the practice, okay? So now I'm going to move on to the mat. It has a blanket on top. I recommend you to put one if you didn't put before. And we are going to start on our Shavasana shape. So I'm lying down, facing up, releasing here, the whole body. Give yourself a moment to slowly drop your bones, almost like if they are subterranean as they become heavier and heavier. And with that, the opportunity to also become less solid, more fluid, more open for the practice to come. Give yourself this moment also to notice tingling, aches, sensitivities, or places where you are holding or tensing your body, okay? And I know that many of us, sometimes in our brains, we want to move fast, okay? Our heads are always like attached to speed. So see if you can challenge yourself a little bit through this practice today to go against that speed or that need of going fast. and be with what arises as we move a little slower. Good. Notice the breath into those side ribs, the area where you had the belt. And notice the difference without the strap, or just the way your body expands and then narrows. Good. As we keep the legs relaxed and heavy, we are going to lace our fingers and bring the palms behind the head. The elbows are going to stay wide. And the first movement that we are going to do today is aiming at our side body. Of course, this is the main practice today, side body. So I'm going to start with one inhalation, slow, to bring my right elbow over to the right. I'm not lifting my arms off the mat, I'm just sliding. And then with the exhale, I'm going to return to the center. And then I'm inhaling, going over to the second side. And back to center with the exhale. We are going to have several repetitions of this, okay? So as you go to one side, pay attention to that same side you're going to, so you can feel that contraction in your side ribs. And then as you come back, the return to neutral. When you go the other way, just bring the attention into that side that it's compacted and return with the exhale. Don't force or don't hold the breath. Try to be fluid in the inhalation and create a little bit of a flow there as you come and go, okay? I'm talking, so for me, it's a little bit different to keep that flow, but for you, just try to get deeper into those cycles, breathing in and out. Perhaps you can do the Ujjayi breath through the nose. And if you cannot, just stay connected to the way you're breathing and trying to create that fluidity, that pattern that it's steady, okay? One more time, we are going to add this movement from side to side. Notice also the neck, any sensations in the upper back. And when you are back to center, stay with the hands connected to your head. Relax the head a little heavier and the elbows. And we'll add to this another movement, okay? So now I'm going to bend my right knee, put the right foot on the sticky, sorry, or on your blanket, and the left leg stays relaxed as it was in the beginning. And with my upper body, I'm going to do the same movement that I just started doing. I'm going to add the movement of the leg. So if you want to watch it once, as I move my right elbow to the right, I'm going to let my right knee drop over to the left, and then I'm returning both to the neutral. This is adding rotation for the hips, okay? So we inhale, going to one side, I'm staying on the same side, and back to neutral. And you don't have to drop that right knee super far, just let it naturally drop, and also feel the arching in the lower back. Trying to keep the arms sliding on your sticky, okay? I'm going a few more times. Inhaling, exhale. Good, one more time. Nice, back to center, release there, drop the right leg. Notice. And then second side, left foot now onto your blanket. The right leg is relaxed and going the other way, okay? So my elbows are moving over to the left knee over to the right. Exhaling back to center. Okay, keep doing that. Inhaling, going to the side. Exhaling back to center. I'm getting trapped in my hair, that's why I'm stopping. Good, and again, inhaling, exhale. A few more. Soft face. Last one. Good, back at the center, we release the left leg. Extend your arms to the sides like a T letter and take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good. Now I'm going to keep my arms to the sides, bend both knees, putting your feet to the edges of your mat. Lift your pelvis just a smidge. I'm going to say 1 inch. Lengthen your lumbar muscles, your gluteal muscles towards the top of your mat, and then reset the pelvis down, okay? With my arms to the sides. Now I'm going to take both my knees to the right as I extend my left arm to the left and bring the chin over to the left as well. Then I'm coming back to center with the exhale. I'm switching sides, both knees over to the left. My right arm is extending to the right, like if I wanted my shoulder to move away from my torso or taking it out from it, and then returning to center. The idea is to mobilize the shoulder joints as well, but I'm not forcing or being aggressive, okay? So you don't have to go extremely far. Back to center. Go opposite way, extending the arm, chin over as well. Unless your neck feels sensitive today, back to center. And again we go. Good, last time, both ways. No rush. Try to go against the speed that the mind tells you that we really need to rush. And back. Good. Here we are back to the center. I'm going to again lace my fingers and send my hands behind the head. This time I'm going to add extra movement for the side body as we also take the cat-cow. So I'm going to inhale, arch the spine as I'm lifting the front, the chin goes up. And then with the exhale, navel in, I'm lifting my upper back and I'm going to do again the side movement that I did in the beginning. So elbow to the side, back to the center. If you can keep holding there, over to the other side, back to center and release. Good, let's go again. Inhaling, arching, lifting the chin, lengthening the neck a little. Exhaling, belly button in, we lift the upper back. Right elbow to the right, back to center. Elbow to the left, back to center and release. One more time. Inhaling, we arch, lifting that lower back, opening the front. Exhaling into the cat, elbows open to the right, back to the center, elbows to the left, back to center, and release. Good. One more here. Instead of moving side to side, now I'm going to add the twist, okay? So we are activating a lot of the intercostal muscles, which helps a lot with the diaphragm and the capacity to breathe better, okay? So it looks like perhaps we are not doing much, but we are, okay? Inhaling again into that cow pose. Then we exhale. This time we come all the way up or a little bit higher, and we take both elbows to the right, back to center, and we release. Inhaling again, chin up. Exhale, belly button in, lifting, going over to the left, Back to center and release. Let's go one more time each side. Inhaling. Exhale, lifting over to the right when you're ready. Back to center. You may start feeling more the activation of the core, right? The abdominal cavity being a little bit more warmed up or feeling a little bit more tension there. Back to center and release. Give yourself a big breath. Good. Then I'm going to keep my knees bent. I'm going to again widen my feet. I'm just moving for space purposes and keeping the feet wide. I'm going to extend my arms overhead. Try to bring the navel down so you feel the back of the pelvis connected, and we can extend the side body more. So from the side ribs where we were breathing before into the belt, from there, imagine that's where your arms start. And from there, you extend and you reach back with your fingertips for one full breath. And one full exhale, of course. Good. Then I'm going to release the arms and roll over to the side. And we are going to keep using the blanket for a side opener again, okay? I'm going to add a second blanket for me in between the head and the arm. So we've been doing some of the side opener before. So what I'm going to try and do is to keep my body all straight in one line. I'm going to extend my underside with my palm facing up. It doesn't matter which side you are on first. I'm not saying right or left. You can put, like I'm doing now, a blanket or a pillow in between your head and your arm for extra support for the neck, okay? So if you want, you can do that. Then you look at your body and you try to create a stick, right? Like a sushi stick. And if this is difficult and you feel like you're falling over or backwards, then you bend your under knee and you give yourself a little bit more support, okay? If you're okay extending both, make sure that your sacrum is moving forward into the front of your pelvis, so that area opens up, and we give also the opportunity to the whole front of the body to open, okay? I'm pushing through my heels. I'm going to bring my upper arm over my head. I'm going to catch that upper arm wrist with my underhand and pull, okay? So this is like when we stand up and we just stretch, right, one side. I'm doing the same thing, but lying sideways, okay? So sacrum long towards your heels. Push through your heels also, like if you're standing on that south wall that you have, perhaps on the other side of your room, and then extend also through the crown of the head. Big breath in. Exhale all the way to empty. Good. Then I'm going to release that upper arm, bring the hand in front of the chest, bend your upper knee and put the foot behind the extended leg, okay? I'm going to keep extending through the right, through the under leg and pushing through the heel, and the knee that it's bent, the foot is firm onto your blanket, but what I'm going to try and do is to send that knee a little further back. So it's just an inch perhaps, or a little bit, it's not super intense. But when you do that, you'll feel more opening in the groin and the hip flexor, okay? So that's what I'm trying to do. Now there's two opposite movements happening here. I'm sending my knee back, and at the same time, I'm sending my sacrum and my gluteal muscles in, okay? So I'm trying to combine the two. You'll feel more of that stretch there. Take a deep inhalation. Steady breathing so we can go deeper into our bodies, tissues, organs. One more. Good. And now I'm going to modify these by bending both knees and bringing them in front of me, knees and hips on the same line. And then I'm going to take my extra support out so I can bring that underarm also in front. And then I'm going to wiggle my upper back so I can open into a big twist, okay? So both my arms are again into the T position, T letter. And now from here, we'll do another exercise for the breathing capacity and the side ribs, okay? So I'm going to inhale, bring the arm that it's behind all the way to touch the palm in the front. And then with the exhale, I'm going over to the beginning. And again, inhale, touching the palms if you can. Exhaling over to the other side. 2 more, inhaling. Good. Once you finish and you're back into that T-letter shape, stay there trying to wiggle the shoulders a little bit so you can drop your shoulder blades down and perhaps feel the connection of the shoulder blades into your blanket. Good. Then you're going to bring both your knees to vertical. We are back into lying down on our backs for a moment. And then we are going to roll over, so we do the second side. For me, I'm going over all the way so you can see me, but you can roll over and just follow the prompts, okay? Because you guys, you can completely, like totally follow without looking at me, okay? So now I'm going sideways again. Again, if you want, you put the padding in between the arm and the head. My palm underneath is pointing up to the skies. I'm trying to find that straight line with my body. If this is hard for balancing, you know, you add bending one knee, send the sacrum in, lengthen from the navel all the way to the nose, and then bring the upper arm over, catch it with your underhand, and pull. Okay. Now notice when you're doing this, if your buttock bones are going backwards, okay, if you're leaning back. So see if you can squeeze those glutes and bring them into one another, sending the sacrum long to your heels and pushing through the heels. Softening the skin in the face, trying to relax there, the mouth, the mandible, and the tongue. One more breath. A gentler practice, but it has a lot of effect deep within our tissues, our joints, creating opening in the body, okay? Now we bring that upper hand in front. We are going to bend the upper knee, putting the foot down. And again, I'm going to do like what we did before. That knee is going to go back. I'm trying to open up that groin at the same time that I'm sending the sacrum in and the glutes into one another, okay? Taking a few breaths. And the intensity of that opening for the hip flexors, you are your own teacher, okay? So you choose if you want to just stay more vertical and less of that, or if you want to push a little more intensely towards the wall or the prop that you have behind you, the piece of furniture, okay? Good. Then from here, I'm going to bring both knees in front like I did on the other side. And the underarm, I'm going to bring it also in front so I can open up into that T-letter shape on that second side, okay? Find it first, and then we'll take 4 of those repetitions, inhaling, bringing the arm up and over to touch the underarm, arm palm, and then back. Go with your breath. Two more. Good. Once you made it to the last, again, we are going to play with that wiggly action in the upper back so you can feel a little bit more of the dropping of the shoulder blades down into your support. And breathe there for a couple of times. Bring the attention to your lungs, opening, widening into those side ribs and giving more to the diaphragm to extend to the edges and the attachments into the insides of your ribs, okay? That area is very mobile, and if we really access that place, we give ourselves an opportunity to undo tension and give more capacity for breathing. Okay, then I'm going to come back to that side so I can push up for a moment, because I want you to take your belt. I left mine close to the computer. So go and take your belt. You're all doing fine, good. And you're going to just have that belt. Now we are going to use it long, so you don't need any loop, okay? I'm just moving that loop out to the corner and lying down. What I'm going to do, just a couple more things here. I'm going to bend both my knees, and I'm going to put my belt on my arches, okay? My feet are hip distance apart, and I'm going to slowly start pressing through my heels up to the ceiling to extend the legs. Now this is the beginning, right, of opening up the legs, even though we've been working a little bit on the side line. But if you need to keep your knees bent for now because it feels too tight in the hamstrings, then you keep your knees bent, okay? Slowly we are starting to activate those legs a little more before we do down dog or anything like that. And we try to contract the front of the leg muscles into the back, pushing through the inner heels. And I don't know if you can see, but my butt is not lifting off the blanket, okay? I'm trying to keep my pelvis connected to earth, lengthening through my spine and the sacrum. So we create also opening in the lower back, okay? Take a deep breath here. As you exhale, bring that belly button like a hook into your spine. Keep that and see if you can open the legs a little wider to a V letter. And they are as wide, either as wide as your mat, or it can be even a little wider if that feels okay. Now, when you have the V letter of your with your legs, from your groins, lengthen the inner legs all the way to your inner heels and push up to the skies, okay? And again, we are activating a lot there through the inner legs, lower back connected to earth, belly button in, ribs also in, okay? Last breath. Beautiful. Bring those feet towards one another. And with the belt, actually, keep it there. Bend both knees into the chest. I have again my feet hip distance apart, or more or less that. And I'm pressing my knees towards the chest. And then very slowly, slow pace, slow motion. I'm going to start again re-extending by activating my muscles in my legs towards the bones. There may even be a little bit of shaking, which is absolutely normal, okay? So slow motion. Good, and then slowly bend the knees, take that belt out, rock from side to side, hugging your knees or holding there. Good. Okay, let's take one arm overhead, roll over, press up, and now we take our blankie out, okay? Good. Bring your blocks instead. Good. Now we are going to come onto our sticky, and from the sticky, we are going to sit on our heels like we do many times. So I have my heels together, I'm tucking my toes, I'm spreading them with my hands, and I'm bringing my sitting bones into my heels. If this is not appropriate for you today, or it's hard to keep it this way, you know, you can put a pillow, a block, a blanket in between and make it a little easier. This develops the same habit of being able to do this and open up the backs of the legs and the feet, so you can use any prop that you need, okay? We are going to sit here just for a moment. We are going to try and relax the shoulders back, lift through the whole spine from the pelvis up. Feel the sensation of your sitting bones going down into your heels. And if you feel like your heels are going outwardly, see if you can bring them more into one another, okay? Let's inhale, send arms overhead, lace your fingers, press your palms up. From your ribs again, from the side ribs, we extend, push through the palms. Exhale, release. And now hold the fingers behind the lower back. Roll the shoulders, extend the arms behind. Draw that navel up to the nose. Good, release the arms and come into your hands and knees position, okay? Wiggle the hips a little bit from side to side. You can keep the knees together and do a little bit of circling with the hips before we go up to down dog, okay? I'm going one way and then the other. Give yourself a moment to explore sensations there. Good. And then from here, if you are having issues with vertigo or stuff like that, you stay in tabletop. I'm just saying this because I know some of you may. You stay in the tabletop and you're going to work core by lifting into the spine and just working the extension of one leg and then the other, okay? This is a very good practice for strength in the core area, okay? If you don't want to go up. From here, for the ones going up, we move the fingertips over towards the sides of the mat. I'm moving my knees a few inches behind my hips. My feet are wide like we regularly do. And we tuck the toes, trying to spread them as much as possible. And then we start our journey up, okay? By pushing through the hands, extending those arms. You can see that I never stretch or straighten my legs right away. I give myself a little time here so I'm not forcing my hamstrings, okay? So first push with your palms so your arms get straight and steady and your chest comes towards your thighs. Send the outer shoulders back and let your neck become long and the contents of your brain drop towards earth. So that head is heavy, okay? You can add the walking motion for your dog, pushing one heel down gently, and then the other one. You can wiggle your hips from side to side. Give yourself a moment to feel this shape and settle slowly, okay? While you're doing that, for the ones that are on your hands and knees, the idea is to draw that belly up, extend one leg and keep those toes pointing down, toning the muscles in your legs and sending the inside of that leg up to the ceiling, okay? And then you change into the other one, same idea. Hips are facing down, drawing the belly up, inner leg goes up to the skies, pushing through the heel, okay? Both of those are good. If you're in your down dog, from there, now find a little bit more stillness if you didn't do that yet, and bring your knees down. We are back down, everybody. Good, now you're going to take again blocks. For you, we are going to sit again, but this time with the blocks in between your heels, okay? So I'm putting one right under my sitting bones. It can be two if you need more. It can be a block and a pillow, add whatever it is there. I'm doing it extra tall for me today because of my ankle that it's a little bit injured still, okay? Good, so from here, once you find that, make sure that the tops of your feet are touching or connected to your sticky, the toes are pointing back, sitting tall, palms facing up, roll the shoulders back, lift through the crown of the head. Soften the face, close your eyes for a moment, and go into your breath. Imagine you have that belt like we did in the beginning. See if you can breathe into the sides of your ribs. and create more opening in your whole body that way. Soft skin in the face. And then we slowly open the eyes. We are going to send the arms up overhead. With the exhale, I'm going to bring the right arm over the left one and take the eagle arms. For these eagle arms today, I'm going to start with my chin in and letting my upper back be rounded. It's a little bit like the cat pose, okay? So I'm going to take one breath there. And then when your next inhalation comes, you're going to start lengthening your collarbones, lifting the spine, and bringing the elbows a little higher, okay? Take a deep breath in, keeping the chin off the chest. Good, then we inhale, arms up overhead. And we exhale, switching sides, left arm goes on top, eagle arms. Once you get there, again, we do that cat shape by rounding the upper back, chin in, give yourself a breath. Watch that breath, always the opportunity to return by doing that, okay? Then we start inhaling again, opening through the collarbones, lifting the elbows a little, lifting the spine, chin off the chest without tensing the neck. Good, we inhale, arms up again. We exhale, we tilt forward so we can take our props out one more time. And again, we are going into downward facing dog, and you choose if you want to modify it and do the other version, okay? So we go up, down dog, from here, push through the palms, outer shoulders back, draw the belly button in, and release the neck and head. Good, excellent. Now from here, I'm going to walk my feet towards my hands, and I'm going to take a squat. So I'm widening my toes and sitting down. If you need a blanket, a prop, a block underneath, anywhere for this shape, please add it, okay? Be your own teacher, trust the wisdom within. Softening here, try to soften the belly. For one more breath. Good, I'm going to do a little trick from here. I'm going to put my hands down and I'm going to send my right leg back into a lunge. And then I'm going to set that left foot a little straighter, right? So I'm back, I'm into a lunge. I tricked you. Good, drag the belly in, lengthen the spine, put that right hand down and twist over to your left. Shoulders back, lengthen the spine. If you need to bring your right knee down, you are allowed to do that, of course, okay? Squeeze the hips into one another, push through the back heel. Good, and I'm going to bring my left hand down and try and bring my right foot again into the squat. And back we go. Nice, I see it. Drop the sitting bones, relax the belly for a breath. Good, and now I'm switching sides, putting my hands down. I'm going to send my left leg back, right foot comes forward, just turning it forward towards the top. And if you need to bring the knee down, you bring it down. If you are okay with lengthening and lifting that back knee, you do that, okay? Lengthen the trunk, left hand down, we twist over to the right, roll the shoulders back, firm the hips in. Release that right hand, see if you can come back to that squat. Good job. Relax the hips, relax the sitting bones, soften the belly. Good. From here, I'm going to put my hands down. I'm going to lift the hips. I'm going to make my feet point towards the top of the mat. Drag the lower belly in and drop the torso. Add the blocks or any props that you may need here. Good. Put your hands on your hips, roll the shoulders back, elbows up, press through the heels, lengthen the trunk, and come all the way up to standing. Nice, beautiful. Okay, let's see if I can get 2 more things in that I want. Bring your props with you. It can be blocks, blankets, or pillows. I'm going to widen both my feet. It's a long stride with my feet parallel. I have lines in my mat so I can see that my heels are both in the same line. But if it's hard for you to see that, you can always put your heels all the way into the back line of your mat. And then you know that they are in the same latitude, okay? Good. From here, I'm going to use props for supporting my forehead or my head, okay? So press into the outer edges of your feet, drag that sacrum down, inhale, arms up overhead, and then using your core, firm the hips in, lengthen the spine forward, chest is opened, and then I'm coming down and I'm using any of the props as tall, high, or low as you need, okay? I'm sending my arms a little wide as well, and possibly as you test it, you'll find the place where you need to be supported, okay? The idea is to keep your hips above your heels so we are not pushing the hips back, and to drag the core into your body. Nice. You keep your knees bent if you need, and don't go super far with your torso if you feel like your hips are moving forward, okay? Super. Nice, guys. I see many of you. Try not to round the upper back, so lengthen the sternum forward. Beautiful. Good. And then from there, bring your hands a little closer to your sticky, right? Or a little closer to you, so you can heel toe your feet until they come closer. And then you have better support to put the hands into the hips and return to the standing position. Ah, nice. Okay, from here, no beautiful transition. I'm coming back into my sticky. And if you need padding for your knees, you're going to add the padding right underneath, okay? If you don't, no, okay? Good. What I'm going to do here is to keep my right knee onto the sticky and put my left leg out. My hands are on my hips. Glutes are squeezing into one another, sacrum long, and I'm keeping my right hip over my right knee, okay? And my left heel is in line with my right knee. Okay, from here, I'm lengthening the sides, roll the shoulders back, and we are going to inhale and send the arms up overhead. Beautiful. Again, I want you to use the connection from the side ribs all the way to your fingertips to lift, and make your ears be in between your arms, okay? So the head is not dropping forward. Good. Take a deep inhalation. With the exhale, we are going to move over towards that left leg, taking the chest up, dragging the belly button up and the sacrum down. Back to center. Nice. Release the arms. Before we let go and we switch sides, I'm going to put my right hand down. Keep that left foot pushing down. Bring the back of the pelvis forward so the sacrum is pressing into the front of your pelvis, and then bring the left arm up and over. Good. It's like a side angle, but we are modifying this, okay? Now, if you can keep your glutes squeezing into one another and the length in the spine and the core active, you can work with lifting that left leg. It's like a half moon, let's say, but with a little bit of extra side opening. Belly button up and sacrum in. Good, then release that left arm, push the floor and come up. Good, bring that left knee in and let's switch into the left side. Okay, extending the right leg, squeeze the glutes into one another, lengthen the sides. When you're ready, inhaling here. Good, exhaling, I'm going over to the right, chest up to the skies, navel up, sacrum down. Back to center. Nice, release the arms. If you feel like you're ready, left hand down, drag that left shoulder back, opening the chest. Keep that right foot connected, bring the back of the pelvis forward, right arm up, and then over. This is a very good place to be. You don't have to lift the leg if that's not working today, okay? Send the shoulders back, drag the navel up, push into the inner left knee to help you stay there stable, right? I wanted to show it and I fell. So you push there into the inner knee so it keeps you more stable. And then from there you lift if you want to go over that second portion. Now notice if you're pushing the sacrum out, bring it in, okay? Twisting up to the skies, extending that right side. Good, and then I'm pushing up, back to center, sit back for a moment onto your heels. Nice. Let's take a child's pose from here, widen the knees, sit back, let the belly rest in between the thighs, lengthen the chest and the torso if you want, and come down. You can keep the elbows bent if you want a little bit more of a relaxed shape here, and breathe into your lower back. Two more breaths. Good, and then slowly sit up, bring your legs through, have one block with you, and come onto your back. We are closer to the end. I'm going to use a block for a supported bridge pose today, mainly because what I want us to do is to be able to work on the opening in the chest, okay? Today, we are working all of this area more than other things, okay? So if you want, you put it flat, you can put it medium or the tallest. The higher you go, the more you're working into that upper body opening, but you have to go with your own teacher, right? So check which one is appropriate for you. Make sure that the block is set up right under the sacrum, so it's not in your lower back. Then you walk your shoulders away from the neck, tuck the shoulder blades into one another, relax the head, soften the skin in the face, and go in with your eyes to the space where your throat is, and visualize the air moving in through the nose or nostrils into that passage of the throat down to your lungs. After your next exhale, lift your pelvis gently to take that support out and come all the way down. Soles of the feet together and the knees go wide like a butterfly to the sides. Good. Bring your hands to your belly, or one to the belly, one to the chest, and take 2 breaths in that place. Notice the sensations. Good. Then bring with your hands your knees towards one another, hug them in and rock from side to side. Nice. And then you can choose if you want to go to a wall to end your practice with the legs up, supported, or just move into your Shavasana position with pillows, blocks, eye pillows, blankets, anything that you want to add to make it comfortable, stable, and giving you the opportunity to let go. After the commitment and presence with this practice, we have a chance to recalibrate the connection between body, mind, breath, and heart. The ultimate practice of letting go.